Please.
The first question I want to ask you, when you did your master's, which is your highest qualification, what was the topic of that master's? What did you focus on your research?
Changing patterns of black marriage and divorce in Durban. It's 350 pages long, based on many hours of participant observation and every other possible. You couldn't do coursework masters. You see, you don't realize that coursework masters.
Yeah, you answered.
Yeah,
You are done now. Yeah, you're done.
Famous research.
No, we are done. Okay. I wanted to know.
To explain that.
So your highest qualification research formally was about changing patterns on black marriages.
So I've got a lot of stuff published in peer-reviewed journals.
Okay.
The University of KwaZulu-Natal has moved to clarify the nature of Mary Diaz's relationship with the institution, following mounting questions over her credentials and role in Parliament's ad hoc committee hearings on political killings. Diaz, a long-time violence monitor and one of the most vocal figures in the inquiry, faced tough questioning this week over the legitimacy of her expertise, particularly after it emerged that she holds no formal qualifications in policing or security studies, despite frequently being referred to as a professor and a security analyst. Her influence in the committee's deliberations became a point of national debate after she advised suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu to disband the Political Killings Task Team, a recommendation that drew widespread concern from the South African public. In a statement issued on Wednesday, UKZN emphasized that Diaz is not an employee of the university and does not hold the title of professor. Norma Zondo, UKZN's corporate relations executive, confirmed that Diaz retired from the former University of Natal in 2002, where she served as a senior lecturer and program director in social anthropology, and said the University of Natal merged with the University of Durban-Westville in 2004 to form University of KwaZulu-Natal. Since then, Dr. Diaz's only formal link to the institution is her role as an honorary research fellow in the School of Law, a purely honorary status without employment or teaching responsibilities. While Diaz has collaborated with members of the Navy Pillay Research Group, the university stressed that her current research on violent crime and policing is conducted independently. During the tense parliamentary session, ANC Chief Whip Mdumiseni Ntuli and Umkhonto weSizwe Party Member of Parliament David Skhosana repeatedly challenged Diaz on her academic qualifications and professional authority. Ntuli questioned why someone without formal training in security matters had been advising senior officials on complex policing issues. Skhosana pressed further, raising concerns about the reliability of her findings and the lack of verifiable sources behind some of her claims. In response, Diaz conceded that she's not a professor and acknowledged that the title has been incorrectly attributed to her over the years. She also confirmed that she has no formal qualifications in security studies, but argued that her expertise is rooted in decades of research, fieldwork, and monitoring violence trends in South Africa. She insisted that her contributions to the committee were based on long-standing experience. However, her inability to produce formal evidence for several assertions left some lawmakers questioning the credibility of her testimony. Political analyst Sandile Swana said the confusion around Diaz's credentials underscores the importance of transparency, and said clearly there has been a misunderstanding regarding her formal standing and expertise. It is crucial for individuals and institutions to accurately communicate the nature of someone's affiliation to avoid misleading the public, especially when dealing with sensitive national issues. Meanwhile, Diaz stood her ground before Parliament's ad hoc committee, refusing to disclose the names of her confidential sources, warning that she might withdraw her testimony unless her ethical boundaries were respected. Her testimony comes in the wake of the explosive allegations leveled against her by KZN Commissioner Lieutenant General Dlamkwanazi, who accused Diaz of being privy to sensitive internal police information and very vocal in pushing to dissolve the PKTC and questioned her objectivity. The PKTC was then disbanded by now suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, whom Kwanazi accused of protecting high-profile criminals, an allegation Mchunu refuted. Diaz vehemently challenged many aspects of the police's approach, painting a picture of pervasive abuse, corruption, and lack of transparency within the PKTC and related agencies, but refused to provide evidence or identify her sources. She drew criticism for refusing to name individuals who provided her with sensitive information about the task team's alleged wrongdoing, and said, "It is my pleasure that you have taken this initiative, but I cannot give names. What I'm saying here is that it's not just in this case. It was one policeman I must protect. The other cases involve different people who spoke to me independently. I live in a very violent province. I can hardly move myself now because I could get killed, so I have to take every step to protect people." When asked if she would be willing to provide names in a closed in-camera setting, Diaz declined, insisting that the trained investigators and police officials were better placed to handle such sensitive disclosures. Committee Chair Lisija Lekganyane pressed for guidance on how to treat evidence from unnamed sources, warning that without corroboration, such evidence might be disregarded, and said, "If you say you have evidence based on a source but refuse to name the source, how is the committee to proceed? Are you saying the evidence must fall away because it is unsubstantiated?" Diaz held firm on her refusal, a stance that drew sharp rebukes from several members of parliament.
Gadgets to be taken from you.
No, I'm not, because there's private information on that.
No, we will apply. We know how to do it. We'll get a court order.
But how dare you? I'm a private person. How dare you do this to me?
No, I'm asking. I'm asking. I'm not saying I'm going to do that.
No.
I'm saying, are you comfortable that
Of course
if,
I am,
if
because
the police have to take your gadgets like any other one, because there's probing in yeah. So my question, I'm saying, are you comfortable?
I'm not comfortable because it's private. It's
No.
private family issues.
I understand that. And since I'm asking you, my follow-up question was simple. And
I'm sorry.
you still did not respond on my question. I ask you, why are you involving yourself on police operational matters?
I've told you that because I
You did
care
not.
about justice. I care about people. One death is too much.
No,
I care about people.
All of us, we care.
Must
We
I
care about
apologize
people.
for that? Look,
Okay,
please, Chair,
yeah,
may I ask,
no,
this
no,
is turning
no,
into
no,
a witch hunt of me.
No, let me.
And I'm objecting and I'm putting it on record.
Let me.
Nothing with this matter.
No, I'm
Only
not talking
thing
about
I've sent is copies to the
other-
media.
Yo,
No, this is a general question.
Okay, Kok.
I mean, I don't give confidential information out.
But Koko, you say here, regarding the Makaka matter, info was leaked to the police. You know this because it was not leaked by you.
No, it was not leaked by me. It was shared
How
information.
did you know it was not leaked by you? How did you know it was not leaked by you?
Because I'd never spoken to the media about it.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.